Hello, come on inside. We're the Madera County Museum. We think we're one of the best kept secrets in Central California, and we've just been nominated for Best Museum in this area. This is our office at the Madera County Historical Society. It was the first room that the Historical Society renovated in 1972 when it was allowed to put in a museum. The reason this room was chosen is that it fronts on Yosemite Avenue out front. And the museum folks said, when people see us working here at night with the lights on, folks going home will know something is happening inside the old courthouse. The Native American Room is a tribute to many indigenous tribes that lived in Madera County over the thousands of years before settlers came in the 1850s. Included in this room is a Nobi house used by Mono Indians up in the North Fork area for living quarters, and many baskets created by Monos and other indigenous tribes. They were used for trading purposes, they were used to sometimes transport children, and they were used to carry food, such as acorns. The Sugar Pine Room, which I unofficially call the Flume Room, has a very small portion of the world's longest flume that was in operation from the 1870s until 1933. The flume operated from above Oakhurst to Madera, bringing logs that had been cut from pine trees up there down the flume, which was filled with water, all the way to Madera. 63 miles, one of the longest flumes in the world. This is our research library. Inside, hundreds of file folders of Madera County pioneers, hundreds of books about Madera and California history, thousands of pages of newspapers from the Madera Tribune and other papers from the early 1900s, plus files on people, places, events, and schools in Madera County. The family album room contains hundreds of pictures of Madera County pioneers. Cameras going from the early 1900s up until the mid-century. Madera County has a great history in agriculture, and our room, dedicated to that history, has a variety of implements and creations, some of them created right here in Madera County, plus priceless photos of early day ranches and farms in the county. Our War and Peace room is one of the favorite sites for children, school kids, when they come through. It has artifacts from every war, from our Civil War up through Desert Storm. One of the big impressionable exhibits here is a flag, a torn flag that was on the USS Terror when it became the first ship to enter Nagasaki after the second atomic bomb was dropped. The reason we have it is that Leon J. Biscay of Madera was on that ship. We also have the uniform that Blanche Galloway wore when she was a librarian in the U.S. Army in World War I. She was one of the first women in the Army, and she later became chief librarian in the county here for decades, and there's a room named after her in the main library. Once you get to the top of these stairs, we have a number of other interesting rooms, including the original Superior Courtroom. This courtroom is looking exactly like it did when the courthouse opened in 1902. It was rebuilt after an arsonist set fire to the courthouse on Christmas Eve 1906, but it was rebuilt to look exactly like it did when it opened. Only two judges in the history of Madera County ever sat in this courtroom, William Conley and Stanley Murray. This is our downtown room. It shows you a little bit of what downtown Madera looked like on Yosemite Avenue in the early 1900s. Among our displays here, the Yosemite Stagecoach, one of the coaches that took riders from Madera to Yosemite. It took 3 days to get them there. Many of these storefronts were originally on Yosemite Avenue. In addition, we have a peanut wagon here. Peanut and popcorn wagons were somewhat common in Madera in the early 1900s, and this is one of them. Fun fact, we have 21,000 curated items in this museum. We had 6,000 when we opened in 1974, and it's expanded. Every one of these items, all of them, donated by families of Madera County pioneers. This is what we call the Blue Room, and it's the room where our curator, Karen Elmore, decorates mannequins in a variety of time period clothing. The particular one right now is called the Essential Black Dress. It's what women in this country wore from 1900 to about 1958. And that's just part of what's inside your Madera County Museum. We have an entire basement that you haven't seen yet. It's full of collectibles, a livery stable, a saloon, a blacksmith shop, a whole lot more. Right now I'm in the country store. So please don't forget to vote for Best Museum in Central California. There's a URL link and you'll see the QR code. And thank you for visiting.